How y'all doing? Not yet. Not lifestyles of the rich and famous. But however, I wanted to come on here and okay, what do I want to do? I'm about to go on a tour with my buyer client, and this is as much as a get ready you're gonna get. I'm waiting for my coffee to brew. I'm in my office, my little office area. This area is not much, it's just enough. I'm not a person that likes to necessarily go into the office. Before I get on the road, I'm going to be seeing, it was supposed to be 4, but it has turned into 3 showings today. Sometimes it's a tough thing when you try to go on showings on Sundays. It's not terrible, but even with Sundays, like Sunday evening, Sunday night, it can kind of be too late. It's kind of late to the game if people have been going to showings since Friday. So this week, today's Tuesday. I don't know when this is going to come out, but this week I had to do a price reduction on my duplex. I also got excommunicated. You know, sometimes when you're working with investors, this was my rental listing, and sometimes when you're working with investors, you know, you never know what their timeline is. A duplex person does have a timeline. We're trying to, you know, and that's why we've been, you know, consistently dropping the price and stuff like that. Of course, I typically opt for the big price reduction, so you don't have to do the several incremental price reductions. But we're trying to get some fish on the hook. But with the rental listing, you know, with listings, if the rent is priced where it's supposed to be, the problem wasn't interest in the property for that rental listing. The problem was just getting people to do what you're asking them to do. But there are wins and losses in real estate, but you try to get back up and you keep on going, right? But I'm gonna get back with y'all when I am in the car. All right. I'm in the car. Get my back on, and then I'm gonna see you when I pick this up at the property. All right. I don't want to know, but I don't need to go in here. Did you lock it? Everything. Because I wasn't saying, like, oh, you left it open. I mean, it's row house. It is a row house, so it doesn't necessarily mean it's from a yeah, I remember seeing this one and I was like, hey. If you want to do some work, I guess ain't nothing else to talk about. Ain't nothing else to talk about.
So the first location was pretty much a bust. If you couldn't tell from what we were talking about, my client got in there first, and it just was a bust. Didn't like the property, and I told him, I said, hey, unless I'm saying that I'm in the property, do not open a property. But we are at the second location of this tour. It was a beautiful, nice, bright day. It was still cold, but it was certainly beautiful. And the locations that we were exploring are all locations in Delaware County. Of course, I service Delaware County, Montgomery County, Philadelphia County, and other surrounding Philadelphia suburbs. And this one was actually not bad. Again, I want you guys to, you know, look through these properties and see which ones you would prefer or pick. But this one was actually not bad as far as it being done. We did discover at the end of this property tour that there was a leak. If you see where the island is, right above was some moisture on the ceiling there. And so when we get to the second floor, you'll be able to see that, well, you won't be able to see, but when we got to the second floor, we were able to feel moisture, well, hear moisture, because of course we had shoes on. And then once we heard it, I touched it with my hand, it was definitely soaking there. So one of the things that I do as a professional is I do the professional courtesy of if there is something going on with the property while I'm showing it and it's something I observe, I let the agent know. And so just doing that professional courtesy. So if it's say the HVAC or water heater or anything that should be working, what's not working, or if there is some form of a leak, you do the professional courtesy of just letting them know. So here is the outside of garage area. And of course, we're heading upstairs. So not this first room. I'm showing you guys the bathroom, but when we swing back around, I'm going to show you the room that was right above the kitchen where we observed the leak. That is the main bedroom. And again, I mean, it's not bad. Didn't do a bad job with it at all. So not mad about that. Good lighting. The closet space left a bit to be desired, but that's not uncommon with row homes. They could have sprung for a little bit more, but so to the right. So not that one straight ahead, but this one to the right is the room that had the wet spot on the floor, and which is right over the kitchen or dining room area. So this is the last house and stop on the tour. And this one was a single family, unlike the others. Single family house. And the others were row homes. And so yard space was there, had a cute little driveway. It was quaint, cozy, as people like to say. That was actually the back door of the property. But it was interesting. So this seemed to have been a bathroom that you can see would be right off of the kitchen. And you can also see that it doesn't make for a lot of kitchen and dining room space, right? So, so the living room is not very big, and we're making our way up the steps. And I can't stand spirally steps. I always feel dizzy, feel like I'm a fall. And so then when you go upstairs, there are 2 bedrooms. So it is listed as a 3-bedroom. And if you can't already tell, the headroom, the ceiling space was quite low. My client and I are about the same height. He probably has me by maybe half an inch. And, I'm tall, as I always tell you guys, and you'll see me start to measure and show you guys, there it is, the headspace, right? So it didn't take much to touch the ceiling. So I'm coming down the silly, crazy steps, making sure I do not fall. It was the last stop on the tour, and my client wound up making his way down the basement. I did not. And you see behind me, that ceiling had a leak previously in this particular house. He made his way down into the basement. I opted not to. Sometimes I go in basements, sometimes I don't. But stick around and let's talk through the tour and some comments below.
Hey fam. Well, forgot to record myself getting in the car and things, but just wanted to let you know that I am done my tour with my buyer client. It went pretty good. We'll see if he's going to pick from the ones we saw today. I mean, it was, I'll let you decide. What do you think? What do you think about the different houses? It's always a balance between location, affordability, and aesthetic, right? So, we're going to try and figure out, what works for my client. And so, that's always the conundrum, right? It's just trying to figure out, hey, what actually works, what may not work. Right now, I'm on my way to go get my daughter because she decides to do a trust fall, and clearly she couldn't trust the person that was supposed to catch her. So there's that. And so property before. We actually won the bid, but the seller got cold feet. And there was that. So couldn't go through with that one. So that was really frustrating, for my client. And I think that for right now, he wants to look at some other options. So that's understandable. And what you're gonna do. It's the name of the game. Because again, you have to balance out what you're seeing with the budget, with location, and actually the property that we had put in a bid for or put in an offer for was, needed some TLC, but my client absolutely loved the location. So just that balance again. So that's it. I'm going to go ahead and drive. I don't want my camera to fall. Okay, but